Okay, guys, we are starting lesson 1.3 today, which is solving equations, which we've been doing, right, with variables on both sides of the equal sign, okay? I cannot stress how important this lesson is. It kind of brings everything together, okay? So please pay close attention to this video. Okay, golden rule of algebra. If you do something to one side of equal sign, must do to other side. Okay? You do it to one side, you got to do it to both. Okay, we know our inverse operations: plus, minus, division, multiplication, etc. Okay? That's review. Okay. Steps to solve equations with variables on both sides. Okay. Simplify, but it's really important. Most important word there, distribute. You must distribute and combine all like terms on each side of the equal sign first, okay? So this is what I tell you in class. Cover up the right, do what's on the left. Cover up the left, distribute on the right, and then we start moving things around. Okay, collect variables on one side of the equation using inverse operations. Collect numbers, okay, those are the constants, right, on the other side using inverse operations, and then we solve. And I typically, put the variables on the left side and the numbers or the constants on the right side, okay? Let's move on. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have told you that we're on page 52. That would have been helpful while we were doing this, right? Okay, we are going to go to page 53, okay? And we're going to practice this, okay? Solve the given equation and check your solution, okay? I'm going to go through my mental checklist. Can I distribute on the left? Nope. Can I distribute on the right? No. Okay, then I'm going to see if I can simplify anything. Again, there's no simplification on the left, no simplification on the right, so I'm going to move my variable terms to the left and my constants to the right, okay? Typically. I'm not going to the side because we're just going to move them over here. So that, see how these are like terms? I'm going to add 2x to both sides, okay? Those cancel, I get 15 equals negative 7x plus 2x is negative 5x, okay? I'm going to divide by negative 5. And I'm going to get what? Negative 3 equals x. And you guys remember that we always put variable first. X equals negative 3, okay? And if we are going to check, remember we just take our solution and we plug it in anytime we see x. So I'm going to start with 15 minus 2. Oh, I came across an x. So let's fill that in. We said it was negative 3, okay? Equals negative 7 times x. Again, x is negative 3. I'm going to plug it in, okay? So I simplify the left, I simplify the right, and I look to see if they're equal. So we have to do order of operations. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. So 15 plus 6. Sometimes you just let me put a question mark there. Negative 7 times negative 3 is a positive 21. 15 plus 6 is 21. Oopsie, I got ahead of myself, so check. That means my answer is more than likely right. Okay, looking down at another example. Okay, I always go through my mental checklist. Is there any distribution on either side? And there is not, okay? Can I simplify anything? Nope. Simplify? Nope. So now I start moving. I want my variable terms on one side, my just plain old numbers, my constants on the other. So I am going to draw my line down, plus 5r, because remember, I want to combine my r's. I've got 6r equals 18. Divide by 6. Divide by 6. I get r equals 3. Okay? Easy enough. I'll do my check. Again, I take this and I fill it in every place there's an r. Oh, I start with an r, so I'm going to do 3. Equals negative 5 times 3 plus 18. I'll look and see if those two sides equal each other. We got a negative 15 here. plus 18. Negative 15 plus 18 is 3. So it checks, okay? Now, let's get a little bit harder. I want you to turn to page 54, okay? Okay, again, we're on page 54. And let's look at number 3, okay? There's no distribution. There's no simplifying, so I'm going to start moving my variable terms to the left and my constants or my numbers to the right. That's a plus 2x, so we're going to subtract 2x. I hope you see that negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5x. We get 19. Oh, of course, I had to give you a fraction, right? We're going to divide by negative 5. We get x equals negative 19 over 5. We cannot leave. That is an improper fraction. That's going to be negative 3 and 4/5. Okay, for those of you who've forgotten how to do that, you just take 19 divided by 5. That goes in 3 times. And then you put the 4 over the 5. And it was negative. Okay, so there's my answer. Okay. Let's go to 4. Okay, I'm going to blow your minds with this one. You can absolutely leave it as decimals. I have no problem with that. But I'm going to show you a way to make things easier. I want to move those decimal points because I don't want to mess with them. So I'm going to multiply the whole thing by 10 and watch what happens. That moves one place over, 25y. 6 times 10, 60. 4.5, I move it, minus 10, okay? That is the same equation, okay? Now it looks like nice whole numbers, which are so much easier, okay? I'm gonna move my variable terms to the left, my constant terms to the right. Let's subtract 45y. Okay, 25 minus 45 is gonna give me negative 20y equals negative 10. Now I'm gonna move that 60 over here. Inverse of addition is subtraction. I get negative 20y equals negative 70. Of course, I couldn't have made things easy. I have to have a fraction here. Okay. We get y equals, well, negative divided by a negative is a positive, so I've got that going for me. And then I have, let's see, they're both divisible by 10, so I've got 70 over 20 equals 7 over 2, which is 3.5. But I started as decimals, so I'd like you to end as decimals. You get 3.5. Okay? Let's just do a few more. Yeah, I love number 5. Okay? Let's talk about it for a second. Okay, remember the first thing I ask myself is, can I distribute? And you can see quite clearly that we can distribute on both sides. I'm going to draw my little arrows to show that. Always look for distribution first. I've got negative 2 times x plus negative 2. Don't forget signs. Now we're distributing the negative, and there's a negative 5 there. Then we've got 6 times 2. Again, we're distributing. Plus 6 times negative 1/2 x. Okay? I'm going to go ahead, simplify. That's negative 2x. A negative times a negative is a positive. 2 times 6 is 12. And let's see, a positive times a negative is going to be a negative, so I know that. And 6 times 1/2, if you don't know that, do it over here, if you can see. That cross cancels. I'm left with 3. So that's going to be minus 3x. Okay? And now, I cover up my right. Is there anything I can simplify on the left? Nope. I cover up my left. Is there anything I can simplify on the right? Nope. Now I'm going to start moving. I'm going to get my variable terms to one side, my numbers to the other. I'm going to, let's add 3x. That was subtracting, so I'm going to add it, the inverse. Let's see, what do we get here? Negative 2 plus 3 is 1, so just x plus 10. We get 12. And now I'm going to subtract my 10 from both sides. X equals 2. Okay? Not too bad. Let's, 2 more problems, then we're done. Okay, let's start with number 6. I'm going to switch colors so it doesn't run together. Okay, can I distribute? Absolutely. Okay, and here I can as well. Okay, so I'm going to have 6 times 1 plus 6 times 1/2 x equals 2 times x plus 2 times 1. Okay, oh good, I'm not dealing with any negatives. This is an easy one. 6 plus 6 times 1/2 is 3x equals 2 times x is just 2x. 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, I'm going to move my variable terms to one side, my constants to the other, minus 2x minus 2x. We get 6 plus x equals 2. Subtract 6, and we get x equals -4. Okay? And like I promised, just one more problem, we're going to be done. If you skip over to page 55, I want to do one more problem. Okay? I think this is a good one. Let me look. Make sure I'm not lying. Nope, that's all I want to do. Okay. First thing, always, oopsie, it would help if you could see. First thing you always do or look to do is distribute, okay? Look for those parentheses. Do we have any distribution on the left? We sure do, okay? So I'm going to go ahead. I always draw my little arrows to show my distribution. 6 times 4 plus 6 times, and remember we don't separate, that's a z. So 6 times negative z. I always put a little line to show it's a z so it doesn't look like a 2. No distribution on the right. I'm just going to copy it down, okay? 6 times 4 is 24 minus 6z equals 2z plus 8. Okay, now I get my variable terms to the left, my constants to the right. I'm going to move variables first, okay? Let's subtract 2z from both sides, okay? 24. I hope you see a -6 minus 2. It becomes more negative, so minus 8z. Let's cancel and you're left with 8. Okay, I moved my variables. Now I have a constant. It's adding, so I'm going to subtract. Okay, I get -8z. Don't forget those signs. Equals 8 minus 24 is -16. Okay, my final step, I'm going to divide by -8. Oopsie, z equals a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So you should get 16 divided by 8, which is 2, okay? And my steps here, I basically distribute. I looked to combine like terms, right? Combine like terms. We'll say using operations. And then same thing we did. And then write final answer in x equals a number form, okay? My key to you would be look for distribution. Let's see if I can spell. I would, can I simplify on left? I'd ask, can I simplify on the right side? And then I start moving things. Then I start, let's see, let's get variable on one side, preferably the left side, okay? And then I'm going to get constants on right side, okay? And that's how I do it. So you're basically using inverse ops. Okay, and that is enough, I think, for today. You can go ahead and start your homework problems.